Hello and welcome into this week's edition of the RNN Diecast review right here on Racing News Now. As always, I'm your host, Garth Allen. Thank you once again for joining me today. If this is your first time catching a Racing News Now video, consider going down below to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. On today's Diecast review, you've seen the title, you know what this week's is, and we're actually going back a couple of weeks from what we had last week with Kevin Harvick's Kansas win. And the reason for that, I wasn't initially planning on getting this car. I didn't have it pre-ordered, but over the past few weeks, I've kind of been thinking about it because I have both of Logano's other two raced versions from this season of his other two wins on pre-order. So I was thinking, well, maybe I should just get the full set for all three raced wins from his championship season. Well, so I end up going down to Charlotte this past weekend, so of course I have to make an obligatory stop at the Lionel store. And as I'm looking through their Elite wall, they have a couple of these, and I'm sitting here, my eye keeps going back to the Logano Talladega car, and I'm like, all right, I gotta get it. Now, as we look at the box here, this was the other big deciding factor for me. They only made 141 of these in Elite, so not a lot of these made. They're gonna get pretty rare. If you want one, you better snag it up now because there's not many left. I think they had a couple left at the Lionel store in Elites. A quick search around the internet, I believe that Diecast Depot still had some, but otherwise I couldn't find them anywhere else online. And I'm sure I don't look at everywhere, but in terms of everywhere that I did look, Diecast Depot was the only place I could find them available. So if this is one you want, you better get it pretty quick because it is, it's not going to be around for very long. It's already getting pretty rare. What comes in the box? Cup Series winner's sticker, bag of blue and white confetti, the generic Elite COA that they're giving this year, and the race detail card. Picture of Logano here. Joey Logano, Geico 500, winner April 28th, 2018, 19th career Cup Series victory for Mr. Logano. Logano scores first win of his season at Talladega, and you can pause to read if you want to. All right, so on to the main attraction, and that is the Diecast, and it is a good-looking one. I mean, honestly, this is the first Joey Logano Diecast I've got, so you know it's a good-looking car. And one thing that definitely will be pointed out as we get further along in the car is this is one of the few, if not the only available Joey Logano Diecast with Auto Trader on the quarter panel. I think this might be the only one available with Auto Trader. I'm not sure. So let's go ahead and take a look under the hood. We got Shell and Pennzoil and powered by Ford. Take a look at the Elite engine detail here. On the nose, a little bit of confetti across the nose here. Ford Fusion 22 and the Sunoco logo. No Team Penske logos on the Penske cars. On the hood, Shell Pennzoil. Lots of confetti on this one. Down the windshield as well. Monster Energy banner mostly covered up by the confetti on this car. 22 across the roof. Logano across the back window, more confetti back here, DIN number 123. Shell and Pennzoil on the deck lid as well. And Auto Trader across the back bumper as well as Ford and the number 22. So let's go ahead and take a look under the deck lid here and take a look at the fuel cell detail. Down the driver's side of the car, pretty clean Goodyears here on the driver's side of the car. I do really like how in the race versions they have the markings here, L22, and then the other markings here, left front 5. I think those are really neat additions that they do for these things. Contingency sponsors, number 22. A couple more pieces of confetti down here along the side skirt. A little bit more here along the windowsill, Joey Logano on the name rail, and one winner's sticker. Cloth window net as usual. Sponsors down the B post. Discount tire and AAA in front of the rear tire. Shell, Pennzoil, and Snap-on behind it. Of course, Auto Trader again across the quarter panel. AutoZone and SKF on the C post. Then, of course, we've already talked about the back bumper Auto Trader Ford and the number 22. Along the passenger side of the car, more of the same, more confetti down this side of the car. Again, fairly clean Goodyears, which, again, is not surprising, given that it is Talladega. You're not going to do a lot of bumping and banging here and really get away with it and still be able to win the race. So, not surprising that it is a fairly clean car. But it is a good-looking car nonetheless. Lots of confetti, and again, if you're a Logano fan, I mean, there's any number of reasons you could possibly want this car. I mean, you could want it for the same reason that I do, just to have the full set of all the race win versions of Logano's cars from 2018, from his first championship season. I mean, that's why I wanted it. That's why I was at the Lionel store and I saw it and I'm just like, all right, I've been looking at it. I got to get it. Nothing else was really standing out to me all that much. And I kept going back to this car and I was like, all right, I got to do it. But, so yeah, that's Joey Logano's 2018 Talladega win from the Geico 500. And I believe that'll do it for today's RNN Diecast review. If you didn't notice, we did not have a Flashback Friday go up this past week. That is because we are not going to be doing Flashback Fridays any further. We're getting closer to the season now. The Flashback Friday was more of an off-season kind of thing anyway. We're just going to get back to doing one diecast review per week as we get into the season. We're going to have more content coming out here as we get closer to the season anyway. And that was really the reason, for the most part, for Flashback Friday, was just to keep some content on the channel throughout the off-season when there wasn't going to be quite as much otherwise. So now that we're getting back into the time of year where we're going to have more content, there's not a lot of need for a second diecast review when, in all honesty, it didn't seem to be super popular. View counts weren't super high, so yeah, no more Flashback Friday. It'll just be the normal diecast review each Wednesday at noon. On next week's diecast review, we're going to look at Kyle Busch's Patriotic M&M scheme, the race to win version from the Coca-Cola 600 from this season. So that is what we will be taking a look at next Wednesday here on the diecast review. And of course, look for more RNN diecast reviews coming up, or RNN news breaks coming up here over the next few days as different driver announcements and news pieces surface, and we're able to talk about them. But I believe that'll do it for this diecast review. So if you haven't done it already, go down below, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. And while you're down there, why don't you hit that big thumbs up button if you like the video. It's much appreciated when you do, and it helps us out so much when you do that. But at that, this has been the RNN Diecast Review. I'm Garth Allen for Racing News Now.